Good afternoon, Hattiesburg. Thanks for joining us for this COVID-19 in City News briefing for Thursday, August 20th. We'll start with today's numbers. These are system-wide numbers for Forest General, Marriott Health Wesley, Hattiesburg Clinic, Simrai, and the Moffitt Health Center at USM. As of this morning, 48,125 tests have been conducted. 5,527 of those have come back positive. 41,761 have come back negative. We have 850 tests currently pending. In the hospital today, between Marriott Health Wesley and Forest General, we have 74 people who are COVID positive, with another 7 under investigation. That's 14 under where we've been the last 14 days. Of those 74, 26 are in the ICU. Also, around 7 where we've been the last 2 weeks. That's a good sign, with another 2 under investigation. We continue to see this hospitalization number drop. Since the weekend, we've dropped almost 30 patients. And so that's welcome news for us as we are continuing to discharge and admitting fewer COVID-positive patients. Some sad news to report is yesterday we found out Lamar County had 2 COVID-related deaths, 2 new ones. That takes Lamar County's total to 24, Forest County's at 59. We continue to kind of watch where we've been in a week's time. We've had 10 deaths in the past 7 days. We send our condolences to those families. Today, statewide, we had 894 new cases that were announced by the Department of Health, with 27 new deaths. New positive cases today, Forest County 17, Lamar County 15, metro area total 32. Total to date 1964 for Forest County, 1317 for Lamar, 3281 for metro area wide. So when you see kind of those 800, 900,000 new cases, and you're only seeing 10 to 20 new cases in Forest and Lamar counties, that's a promising sign, because typically when there's a big number of new cases statewide, you can almost always bet that we're going to see that same kind of big number in our 2 counties. But our 5-day average continues to either stay the same or continue to drop slightly. Of course, the 5-day average is where we take the number of new positive cases on a given day, and we average it with the 2 days prior to the 2 days after. But since the 1st of August, we've kind of seen a steady trend downward. We hope that continues. The other positive thing is in our inside 14-day number. This is the number of people who have received their positive test result within the last 2 weeks. Because this disease has a lifespan of 14 days or fewer unless there's an adverse reaction, this inside 14-day number gives you kind of an idea of how many active cases you could have in your community. And right now in Forest County, that number is 243, and in Lamar County, that number is 143. Both of these are headed in the right direction. We continue to see this number sort of steadily kind of calm down, and so we're glad to see that as well. Just to compare this to a week ago, the inside 14-day number, last Thursday we were at 325, today we're at 243. Lamar County was at 193 a week ago, 143 today, and so we've seen over a 100 patient decrease in the number of COVID-positive patients inside 14 days, active cases from last week to this week. Hospitalization, we're starting to see that kind of follow the same track. 94 people were in the hospital with COVID last Thursday. That number is now 74. 37 in the ICU last week, 26 today. So again, both welcome signs. Because we continue to want to protect the vulnerable, if we can keep people from getting sick in the first place, they are less likely to have an adverse reaction. These are people over the age of 60, people with underlying or chronic health conditions. We also want to continue preventing overrun of the healthcare system by slowing the spread. And on our call yesterday, both ICUs were still full, but they were not as deep into their surge plan. And so that's a welcome sign as well. And finally, we want to continue prioritizing public health while giving the private sector the space it needs to operate creatively. Again, trying to find that functional normal. We continue to push the widespread availability of testing, the wearing of masks, watching our own data, and listening to all voices. Some of those voices got today on a conference call today. We had all the college town mayors and college presidents were on a conference call with Governor Reeves and State Health Officer Dobbs. And so we had a really frank conversation about some of the concerns they have going into the fall and some of the positive outbreaks we've seen on some other college campuses. Now, we know there's going to be some transmission between students on college campuses because people are getting back together. This also preceded and kind of gave us a heads up on what the rules were going to be around football games too. So 25% attendance in the stadium, as well as no tailgating, and that's kind of something everybody agrees with right now. But I want to specifically give a message to our college students. Dr. Dobbs is very serious about this. We need to make sure that we are containing the number of new positive cases that are coming out of Southern Miss, because letting college students go back home and letting people, just canceling residential classes for the semester is still very much a possibility if we don't take the right actions, if we don't do good individual behavior. And so students, I need you to have your mask on, not only when you're in class, not only when you're walking from one place to another, but when you leave the university campus. We need to avoid having parties at apartments and parties at rental houses, because those things can also spread spread this virus as well. So socially distancing yourself, avoiding large crowds, wearing your mask, those are individual behaviors that you can do to make sure that you can finish this semester in Hattiesburg, because that's still very much a possibility if these infection rates do get out of control on college campuses. Some other news that really affects everyone. We have 40 days left as of today for you to self-respond to the census. Right now, Hattiesburg's self-response rate is 54.7%. We can do better. While we have done better than we did 10 years ago, we still need to do better right now, because there are so many things that come from this. Funding, representation, and there haven't been as many opportunities for the census workers to get out and canvass neighborhoods. And so we really need you not only to, maybe you've been holding out and just waiting because it hasn't been a convenient time. Filling out this form takes literally 5 minutes. If you go to HattiesburgCounts.com and click the first link, which is fill out my census form, you can go ahead and fill that out. The other thing we need you to do is check on family members to make sure they have filled it out. Make sure that if you have elderly parents, if you have siblings, if you have friends or coworkers or neighbors, now is the time to make sure that your neighborhood is counted. And so HattiesburgCounts.com, we're going to continue to update this number in these last 40 days. This is the most important thing you can do for your city this year, is fill out your census form. Another piece of news from the city. Next Tuesday, of course, is our franchise fee referendum. This is where we need you to show up and help us extend that agreement with Mississippi Power so that we can keep receiving 3% of the residential, commercial, and industrial gross proceeds in our market. This does not affect your power bill, either raising it or lowering it if you vote no. The only thing that will happen if you vote no is that we're going to lose between $1.2 and $1.4 million to our general fund. And that money goes to support our first responders. That money goes to pave your streets. We don't need to lose that money. So next Tuesday, Jackie Dole from 7 to 7, you can come cast a vote here. Remember to wear your mask, bring your ID. But if you need to absentee vote, particularly if you're over 65 and you don't want to get out, you can come to City Hall tomorrow from 8 to 5, and you can come to City Hall on Saturday from 8 to 5. And you can even call 601-545-4552, and they will bring you a curbside ballot out, so you don't even have to come into City Hall. So please do that for us. This is so important for our city and its revenue sources. Finally, our act of courage. There's about an hour and a half left for you to go and donate blood for Lieutenant Terrell Carson at the Forrest County Sheriff's Office. As I said a couple of days ago, the Carson family is beloved in this community. Terrell Carson's very involved. And so we need you to give blood. Forrest County Multipurpose Center, it'll be open until 6 o'clock tonight. Please make that blood donation. As we go into Friday, remember to wash your hands, take care of yourself, wear a mask if you go out in public, do only what is essential, and remember, you are safer at home. Have a good rest of the evening.